In a night where everybody was wondering how these Commanders could be, they went out and took care of business against the Cincinnati Bengals, and Jane Daniels looked pretty good. He looked really good. And I think this is a sign of things to come. The Commanders, we've been calling it all along, you can't sleep on them. Jane Daniels has been getting it done. We've been saying it all along. And this was a first really good litmus test. Now, I know the Bengals aren't exactly playing up to what they have in the past, but they're still a really good team. And there were some really spurts throughout the game where it was like it wasn't over. And props to the Commanders for making it interesting and just kind of staying aggressive, getting the ball to playmakers and going from there. And yes, they ended up escaping with a win. And we're going to go over the players that stood out for our winners and losers for the Washington Commanders. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So first off, how can you start about talking about tonight without talking about Jane Daniels? I mean, 21 of 23, 254, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Also had a touchdown on the ground, just 12 for 39 as well. Just fantastic. I mean, he is your franchise quarterback. He is your leader, and he looked every bit the part today. Also, Austin Eckler, 3 for 35. And again, yes, he was one of those guys that, he also had a really nice kickoff return to start out the second half, and he is, despite his age and being a little bit of an older running back, he can still get the thing done. Brian Robinson, 16 carries, 33 yards, and a touchdown, looked really good as well. Terry McLaurin had himself a touchdown, 4 for 100 and a tutty on the night. And also Trent Scott, love it. Love it. Come out and got his first touchdown for Jane Daniels and everything. And, this offense is a little tricky. And I thought that was a really good play call and everything and getting Jane Daniels his first touchdown. But props to them for getting that done. Also, Luke McCaffrey, 3 for 44. You also had Zach Ertz, who had 5 catches for 38 yards. And so as far as the rest of the winners go, like the offensive line really did keep Jane Daniels in a pretty good spot. Didn't really seem to have a whole lot of pressures, but it's also Jane Daniels. Like he was pretty comfortable, and that was good to see and everything. So offensive line looked good. The running game looked good on all phases. Play calling was fantastic all night long, or at least I felt for the most part. And they got out ahead of the Bengals, and they stayed out ahead, and that's what you love to see from a squad like this, which does have a lot of talent. Defensively, Javante Jean-Baptiste, he's got to be French, right? Something like that? I don't know. But overall, he had a sack. Also, Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong, that is, I believe, both combined for a sack as well. Other than that, like, Joe Burrow kind of had his way. I mean, it's Joe Burrow, so you're not necessarily, that mad about it, but it is what it is. Bobby Wagner led the team with 8 tackles tonight, and like I said, overall tonight, like, the defense wasn't amazing, and with Dan Quinn as the head coach, you expect a little bit more, but I think it was a step in the right direction, and it wasn't like one player, really picked you apart. It was the fact that they had Mike Gesicki and T. Higgins had a big night as well. Also, I mean, Jamar Chase is a really good receiver in his own right. So, I mean, a lot of different weapons here, and this defense is going to continue to get better. So, don't necessarily hold that against them. I think it is what it is there. So, also, yes, Austin Siebert had himself a pretty good night as well. 8 total points. Fantasy, gotta love him. But overall, hey, Commanders, 2-1, getting it done, and they could be a little something with Jane Daniels. I full-heartedly believe that. I think that they've got the pieces where with Jane Daniels, he can give you a little bit of shimmy with that read option. Also think he can air it out a little bit more than you think he can in that defense. That defense, I think, is going to continually get better as we go throughout the rest of the regular season. But overall, let us know what you guys think. The Washington Commanders coming away with a 38-33 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Let us know what you guys think about our latest edition of Winners and Losers for the Washington Commanders, and we'll see you on the next video.